do? What gives you like sense of ah when you're
Um,
engaged with it?
I do like to paint. You know, I don't get a lot of time to do my any drawings or paintings. Um, and I do like to journal and read. And so I just really don't have a lot of time for that, or I don't make a lot of time for that.
Can you pause during the day this activity? This is business. Can you initiate a pause in this activity for you say let's say at 12 you take a pause, a time out for how much you need or just stop it.
Yeah,
Is it
yeah,
yes you can
yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I can like focus and try to do that.
try to see how does
Yeah.
it go if you can take like few moments of because the selfing does not let us rest or take five or take a nap or what. It's just
Yeah.
selfing all
Yeah.
the time. You have to keep busy, you have to do whatever it brings. You have to make more. Whatever it is the thing is, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
But
I
yes,
agree.
yes, yes. This is it is interesting that it came to you to ask this question. And good morning, Felipe. We're very happy to see you here. I would like to ask you a question, and you'll see how everything connects. Is there a creator to the universe?
Yes, I believe that there is.
Yes, yes. There is a creation and there's a creator to the creation. Yes, can be there. So you believe there is.
Yes.
So let's look into the language. Creator, what is creator? What is a teacher? What is a director? Can you define those? What is a miller? What is a baker? What is a producer? What is a producer? What is a cleaner? What is a miller? Please listen to the language. Most of those occupations ends with er. Yes. So, what is a miller? What is a baker? Before we try to answer the question if this universe has a creator or a director, what is a miller? What is a baker?
Seem like somebody, well, somebody who they hold a certain type of skill and they that's what they do. They bake or create. I'm not certain.
So the baker is baking and the miller is milling, yes, the wheat, and the director is directing, and so on. But when we say director, we aim to someone, isn't it? To an entity, isn't it? When we say director, or under each and every movie, there is like little letters that says producer, director, actor, and next to it there is a name. What is the presumption?
That they're the one that's in charge of that specific movement or
That
in
there,
charge of that specific thing that they're doing.
yes, yes, there's an entity. There is an entity, someone through which some kind of an activity is moving, let's say directing, and he is called director, the owner, so to speak, of directing. So he is the director. He, this director can be anyone, lady or gentleman. When we say let's say, a baker. A baker. There is the process of baking. We put, let's say, dough in the oven that after a few minutes or an hour, it will become a bread or a cake. There is a process of baking. But there's also a name of a baker. Not just baking, the process of putting the dough with the yeast in the oven, which is called baking, bread, or cookies, or cakes, but we name the man or the lady who is in charge of this house of baking as baker. So we create a connection between the man and the process of baking. Do we understand the relation between the verb baking and the connection of which those things are being related to? There's just baking. But when we say baker, we aim the baking, or we relate the process of baking to one entity. Or we say teacher. There is teaching, but once we say teacher, the teaching goes under this title, good morning, under this title. There is a teaching all the time, but once we say a teacher, there's a claiming of the teaching which is relate to someone. There's teaching going on all the time. There's learning all the time, infinitely. There's acting all the time. There's baking all the time. It's raining all the time in different spaces, yes, but it is raining. Now, the question was, if to this world or universe there is a creator, because we defined, let's say, teacher, miller, baker, singer, is a three-dimensional object, meaning appears in space and time. Singer, baker, all of those are appearances in space and time. The question is there a creator to the universe? Because if there was a creator to the universe, it would be an entity. And awareness or consciousness is not an entity. Is this understood? Or not? Meaning there's constantly creating appearances in the world, in the universe, appearances and disappearances, but there is no creator. Otherwise, it would refer to three-dimensional object. When we say a preacher, the one who preaches, we aim to someone, three-dimensional object appearing in space and time that preaches. So he is the preacher. But there is no creator to the universe. Now, what is the next question that comes from you? What is the next question? If there isn't, first of all, do you agree to this or not? Do you accept it or not?
Yes, I accept it. I'm following.
You're following. So, if there isn't any creator, three-dimensional object, which is creating the universe or the universes, what is happening all the time? Where does it come from? How the suddenly trees are popping out, their leaves, the branches, the flowers are blooming, the bees are moving, birds are flying, dolphins are swimming under the oceans, under the sea, with whales. What is happening? How those things are happening? How? Yes, yes. There is connection between things, yes. And there isn't any creator to the universe. Accepting Felipe, Fernando, Abigail, Jill, accepting it or not? Because in many prayers, we find or turning to the creator of the universe like it were a three-dimensional object.
For me,
Yes.
it's definitely a new thought. Um, I accept that though. It is a new thought for me though.
Yes, Abigail. Yes, yes. Let's start with a simple occupations that we're familiar with. There is a teacher, and with ER, there is a preacher. What? Let's ask like children, because let's inquire. Everything deserves inquiry. Who is a teacher? Who is a teacher?
Someone who teaches
Very well.
or
And
instructs,
who is, yes, and who is a baker?
and someone who bakes.
Yes, very well. And who is a miller?
And the same, someone who mills.
Yes, yes, yes. So the language, in a way, brings about the ending of ER, let's say a miller, a teacher, to someone the teaching goes through. But not that the three-dimensional object is a teacher. It's not a statue. What happens when the baker passes away? What happens when the teacher is passing away? Is there a stopping of teaching?
No, it continues.
Continues. Breathing continues. Teaching continues. When the dancer dies, is there stopping of dancing? When the singer dies, is there stopping of singing? No.
Mhm.
So, do you see how the language is built? There is in a way, relation between the claiming, in a way, the singer is supposed to be the one who sings. Yes? The three-dimensional object that singing goes through him or her. But what happens when the singer, so to speak, passes away? Singing does not stop. So the language is built in a way. Do you follow, Abigail? Do you follow? Language is built in a way that there is relation or claiming of ownership of the verb, which is happening as ing, let's say, as singing. We say the singer is singing. What happens when the singer does not sing? He doesn't have to die. He can sit in a hallway and read a book. let's say. This is what the language, in a way, defines. The singer can also go to the kitchen and bake a cake. So singing, good evening, Yanis. So singing goes through us, and reading go through us, and baking, and breathing, and learning, and teaching. But there's no claiming of it. The one who sings, one who walks somewhere, no, 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 humming, doesn't make someone a singer. All of those things, all of those titles that we give, or the language, it's not that somebody did it in purpose or on purpose, but it's very, very disrupting. Because if someone bakes a cake, in the process of baking, stand next to the oven, put the dough into the oven. At the same moment, there's baking happening. Does it make him or her a baker? Does it make the one who sings for a moment a singer? Does it make someone who teaches someone, who show him the way, a teacher or a tourist guide? What happens, the next step is identity. What happens when people identify themselves with being a teacher? Not just the language. First of all, there is a layer of language. What do you do for living? I'm teaching. Therefore, he is a teacher. What happens when there's suddenly a stop or a break? And the one who is identify himself with teaching as a teacher, suddenly school, there is no student in the area, school is shutting down. Is he a teacher anymore? Will he look for a job as a teacher? Does he have a mental breakdown because something breaks in him? Because there's a identity crisis. Because if there's no school and there's no student or children, who am I? And suddenly when there's no concert and the singer cannot sing, is he still a singer? After the movies end, very, very, even TV series, 5 seasons, each season 12 episodes, what happens to the producer? The process of production, of producing the movie, 5 seasons, has end. Is he still a producer? Does he have a midlife crisis because he's not producing? He's not the producer anymore? Does he have identity crisis? What happens to people who identify themselves with a certain frame of life, a certain form of living? What happened to people when they put a square around their life and try to define themselves according to some kind of an idea which does not exist at all? Not just as an occupation, teacher, singer, baker, miller, director, producer, or any kind of an idea which has nothing to do with life. What happens to people when they so put all their energy to hold an idea that does not exist, only in their heads? What happens to them? when they identify themselves with a certain family, with a certain city, with a certain football team, what happens? Yes, yes, yes. So, what is happening? There is an action or activity. There is teaching, but there is no teacher. There is learning, but there is no learner. Because all of those things are claiming like ownership about something. And there's just things which are happening. There is directing, but there is no director. People, when they return to their home from their jobs as professors in the universities, as doctors, as whatever they do, they don't have this freedom because in their mind, in their thoughts, they tell themselves, I'm the doctor, I'm the father, I'm the mother. How do we spell mother in English? How do we spell mother?
Mother.
ER. Yes, very good, very good, very well. ER. Yes. So, thank you. People go home or they, just an example. I was visiting a friend. Yes. Excellent. Excellent, Abigail. Excellent. Was visiting a friend, religious. We met in university after we came from Berlin. I went to visit her. She was having 5 children. One evening I went to visit, see what is going on. And she was all the time busy sitting on the couch with her fingers. The couch was like it is built with 3 pillows in space, and she was all the time with her finger brushing the sand or the dust between the pillows and reciting. Listen to the one sentence she said in 1 hour, maybe 10,000 times, and brushing the sand from the pillows of the sofa because the sofa was divided into 3 pillows at the bottom and 3 upstairs. I'm a father. I'm a mother of 5 children. I'm a mother of 5 children. And it did not matter how much or how we try to move to different topics. How do you do? How it is at work? Just try to see, because we were not here for a while. For 1 hour, she was repeating the fact that she is a mother of 5 children. In 1 hour. And in words, in vocal, to another person. Imagine what happens in somebody else's mind. How a person can live a free life. I'm a mother of 5 children. I'm a mother of 5 children. I'm a mother of 5 children. Cannot say how do you do even, just reciting. You see what is so dangerous about it. And it's not just being a mother of 5 children. It's just when people tell themselves, I'm a teacher, I'm a producer, I'm a baker, I'm a step dancer, I'm a singer. And what happens to the singer that does not sing? Singing stops? No, he's just taking a pause. So that, yes, there is a creation, but there is no creator. There is no creator, because otherwise, what does it mean that there is a creator? That there is 3-dimensional object and entity, and the source is not entity. So there is no creator to the creation. You can do whatever comes to you. Nothing that happens here, whether it's breathing, moving, walking, nothing, dancing, baking, nothing is done by us or by our choice. What needs to come, come. To whom and when, in what circumstances, it will be manifested in the moment. Nobody is capable of doing anything. Just give you an example from children's life, but you will see how it fits. Children ride their bicycles or play at home with a ball, and suddenly one of them is crashing the table, or even five or less. Yes, crashing. Oh, there's a pain. Yeah. And the child accuses the table of hitting him. The child ran after the ball. He didn't notice that there's a table. He ran into the table, got a bang, like a blue mark or so, and he is accusing the table, yes, of hitting him or beating him. How can a three-dimensional object as a table do something? We are not different than the table. We are just what? Being animated. This animation that goes through breathing, first of all, and movement and motion causes some of us to think that we are the doers, we are the walkers. Just an example, there's a winter here, it's quite cold. When it's quite cold, people are not so much mobile. There's not so much, this is how it works. Everything is like you put water in the freezer. What happens if you take a plate and put water, running water or any kind of water in the freezer? After a while, you will see like threads, or the water will start to crystallize. They will stop the motion and the movement, and they will squeeze inside. This is what happens to us also in the winter. So there is no much movement. Shabbat, there was like few of hours light. The sun was shining, and people just took the time to walk on a promenade. And a lady told her friend, she said, when I will have the power, I will walk. Meaning, now there isn't any power even to walk, to move, because everything is so forced. The people think that there's only the air is freezing, or the trees are freezing, and we are different than the trees and the animals. The animals almost do not move because it's so forced. But we think that we are better. We have cars, we have airplanes. Oh. So she said to a friend, when I will have power again, when the days will get warm, I will get to my activity. So in the words, you can see there is a crack, meaning I would like to be active. I would like to do something. I would like to initiate, but I can't. I can't. Uh-oh. But in warm countries, when most of the year it's very sunny and hot and humid, and there's almost no stop, people are very, very active, hyperactive, that there is a tend to think that we are the source of the movement. If I just go, I start a car, I go wherever I go. But it's not so. It is not so. if something, how does it go? You can also unmute and speak. How does this go? Someone wakes up in the morning. How does this go? Wakes up, walk from bed to the shower. Does he decide? What happens in the process of waking up from sleep? Why in the summer there is a sense, or when the days are very warm, there is a sense of running, the thoughts, and in the winter you stand in front of cabinet, what did even I want? It is so cold. We are not doing here anything. Nobody chose us. Nobody even asked us. Yes? If we would like to be born. When? To which circumstances? In which continent? To which language? To what culture? Nobody asked us. If on this question we cannot answer positive, meaning yes, I chose to come here at this time, at this If this question we cannot answer positive, how can we answer positive to the other questions? How can we even have a free will? If the first question we cannot say positive. Abigail, did someone ask you if you would like to be born? What time of the year? What season? Yes, Fernando, did someone ask you if you would like to be born? Jill? Felipe? Yanis? Were you asked? This is the truth, so nobody asked. So how can we claim that we have a free will if we did not have a free will to be born? This is the question. How can anybody claim even that there is a free will? How? How? Have you noticed that when you are in a shop and you need to buy something, let's say a clothes or something, did you notice that you have like attraction to buy certain kinds of colors or outfit? Those preferences that we have towards colors, taste, music, those are not our preferences. This is a program. We already are coming with it. This is not my choice of, or Yanis or Felipe, Fernando, Abigail or Jill, what color would they like or be fond with. It's already pre-programmed. Look at the ice cream shop when you ask to choose a taste, ice cream taste. Yes, and you would like to choose, like they ask you which one, which bowl, which taste would you like to have on the cone. Look at those choices. They're already predetermined. It has nothing to do with the free will. If there isn't a creator to the creation, there is no teacher, there's only teaching. There is no baker, there's only baking. There is no singer, only singing. There is no dancer, only dancing. And nobody is the owner of any activity or any action. Questions? Jill?
Thank you for explaining it that way. It makes a lot of sense. Um, and I think it will help like change the direction of how I think myself, how I think about, what it is that I am doing. So I appreciate the explanation, the conversation.
If, let's say, someone defines himself or herself as video producer, so he or she will urge to produce all the time videos because this is how they title themselves, or in other words, they're caging themselves. Because what happened when she or he are just sitting to dine or to drink coffee? They cannot have rest. I'm a video editor, I'm a video producer, I'm a money maker. Yes? How can someone have a rest? How? I don't understand, Abigail, the question. Can you ask? Can you unmute and ask? I don't quite understand. Nobody asked us. Yes, if he would like to be here. We're just here. Yes, with the circumstances. And if on this question we cannot say that we chose to come, meaning positive, we decided to come, how can we ask positive on the other questions? This conversation is to give relief to everyone. We can take rest. We can speak to friends. The world will still keep going, even if we rest, even if we drink coffee or tea. Nothing will fall down. Nothing will break. It's not dependent on us. Not at all. Money making. A lot of people have those troubles of making income. Everything will come in the moment as it fits. A song, a title, a friend, everything will come in the moment. The beautiful thing is that we are not in charge. We are not responsible to the life of people around us and also to the life of ourselves. Because there is a sense of I'm responsible for the life of, let's say, the near friends or families or whatever, or even nobody's in charge. And there a lot of load is being taken or removed from people's shoulders because they think they're in charge of others or they are responsible for others. Nobody is responsible for no one. No need to worry about somebody's health or somebody's condition. If he just quit from the job, he was fired from the job. All kinds of concerns. There is no need to be worried about. It is very simple. Why it's not in our responsibility? Look at the universe, how it works. There's day, there's night, there's sun, there's moon, there are planets. They work in a certain order. The seasons are coming in a certain order. There are oceans, there are animals, butterflies, there are fish. All of this beautiful orchestra is working or is functioning or is coming without depending on us. If the sun would have to rise according to somebody else's mood in the morning, it doesn't feel like to wake up, to push a button, that the sun will rise. It doesn't feel like it. He forgot. He was having a dinner last night, late dinner. He didn't wake up in time, so the sun is not rising. Imagine a world like this. Of course, nobody is required to push a button and the sun will rise because nobody's counting on us. You see how beautiful it is? And it is really, really relieving message. The stars are coming in the evening not because someone sits and type a code. The flowers are blooming not because someone sits and all night thinking how to make them beautiful in the next morning. Because this is how it is programmed. And we have nothing to do with it. Merely nothing. Needed. This is the whole beauty of it. We are not needed. Nobody's in charge. Nobody has any responsibility. So why to worry? Why? People worry because they think of themselves. But they don't worry how many ants are walking under the ground now and how many butterflies are immigrating. They don't think of the sparrows. Worry comes from thinking of or about oneself. But since oneself is not existing, so it's worrying for nothing because it's just extra. It does not exist. Have you heard from people who have many really deep worries about everything, about economy, about politics, about World War 4, 5, 6, 7, that they have show any concern or notice that there's a sparrow on the window, a butterfly at the garden, a rose, new rosebud which is popping? No. They concern about their special worries about something. Well, all the universe is moving, all the planets are moving. There's special people don't learn it or don't have any education about it, but a special relation between the planets. Each one has its course. They relate to each other with certain gravity, with certain moons. All of this is timed very, very accurately. But who cares about this? Who cares how much oxygen is being streamed to us every moment? I have worried. I'm so worried. About what? Things that do not exist. We are not needed here. This is the beauty of it. Nobody is dependent on us. No one. And this is relieving. And with this relieving message, everyone can be happy. Thank you so much for being with us today. Wishing you a beautiful week, wonderful season. See you soon.